My name is Carina Gardner, and I'm what you would call a practical designer. If you're ready to create a life that you love, become an incredible force for good, and generate income while pursuing your dreams, this is the podcast for you. Welcome to Make and Design. One of my favorite stories to tell my designers is the story of the ant and the grasshopper. So I decided this episode, the timing is exactly right for it right now because we are about to head into summer. And summertime is such an interesting time. It's a time when I know for me, I'm going on a lot of vacations. I have kids at home, so things are a little bit nutty. And it feels like sales take a huge dip. In many of my stores, the sales take a huge dip. And instead of thinking like an ant, most of us really start thinking like a grasshopper. So I thought I would talk to you about the story, and then let's talk about this because I think it's a really important thing. Also, because I just think story does such a good job of reminding me of what I should be doing, right? So this is an Aesop fable, and I'm going to just talk you guys through it because I think it's a good one and always also reminds me of my childhood. So it was a golden summer afternoon, and the sun poured warmth over the fields where the grass was high, the trees were full, and food was plentiful. And the grasshopper, green and carefree, leapt from blade to blade, singing, chirping, and enjoying the beauty of the day. He strummed his wings like a violin and laughed at the breeze without a worry in the world. And as he played, he saw a line of ants marching steadily through the grass. They carried crumbs, seeds, and bits of leaves on their backs, sometimes twice their size, and disappeared into a hole in the ground, only to return again a few minutes later. Their movements were focused, organized, and tireless. The grasshopper stopped his song and called out, "Why not relax a little, dear ants? Come dance and sing with me. It is far too beautiful a day to waste on work." One of the ants, sweating from the weight of a grain he was carrying, replied, "We are storing food for the winter. You should do the same. This summer won't last forever." The grasshopper laughed and shook his head. "Winter? That's ages away. There's a time enough for that later. I prefer to live in the moment." And with that, he returned to his music and merriment while the ants worked steadily on, day after day, week after week. But as time does, the seasons changed. The trees turned gold, then bare. The winds grew sharper. The frost settled over the land. Winter had arrived. The grasshopper's music had stopped. There were no more blades of grass to lie on, no leaves for shade, and more importantly, no food to eat. Hungry and cold, the grasshopper wandered through the frozen fields, shivering and weak. He remembered the ant's words from the summer, but had nothing to show for the long, lazy days he spent singing. Eventually he came upon the ant's hill and knocked gently on the door. The ant he had once mocked opened it, warm and well-fed, inside the burrow. The grasshopper, thin and trembling, asked, "Please, dear ant, may I have something to eat? I'm starving." The ant replied, "What were you doing all summer when we warned you winter would come?" "I danced and I sang," said the grasshopper. Then the ant replied, not unkindly, "Perhaps you should dance through the winter too." And the ant gently closed the door. Now, the video I watched as a kid, I think, was a Disney video, and I think the ant actually let the grasshopper in, and he became their entertainment for the wintertime. Like, he danced and he sang so that they could eat and have enjoyment. Now, the moral of the story is there's a time for work and a time for play. And if you fail to prepare when times are good, you may suffer when times are hard. This has been a hard lesson for me over the years, but not a hard lesson when it comes to design. And those of you who are listening here, I'm hoping you're building a really awesome design business. A lot of times I see designers play all summer long. They get lazy, not because they're lazy, but because the profits aren't showing. Things aren't so good. I also see this not just in the summertime, but I see this on years when things are low. Economy is bad, things aren't going well, and people slow down. They don't do the hard work necessary for when things are going to be up. And I just want to tell you to stay true, to produce the designs you need to produce, to continue to produce the content you need to produce, even through the summertime or through the times that feel like they should be easy, because that's when we should be not playing, we should be working hard for the time to play. I noticed something interesting while I was thinking about this story this time around, because I have told this story a few times. And that was that this whole idea of there's a time for work and a time for play. So if I continue to work during the summertime, right? And this is what the ants got to do. They worked in the summertime, they sweated, they did the hard work. I'm sure they still enjoyed themselves. The sun was shining down, it was still really beautiful. Then when winter came, they weren't gathering seeds. Instead, they were just enjoying it. And, sometimes I talk about relaxation. I talk about downtime. And the thing is, I'm not telling you that there's not time for those things. There's just a time for those things. And that's a really different idea, that you can build a business and there will be times for you to relax. There will be times for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor and maybe not even work as hard. I will tell you, the couple of weeks between Christmas and New Year's, I don't do as much. It's usually a time of contemplation for me. There's a time there to be with my children, especially my college kiddo. And next year we'll have 2 college kids that will be coming home. That's a really important time for me. And I try not to work as much. And I'm able to do that because we spend the rest of the year and we spend the summer making sure that our design sales are good, that the things that we're doing is on track to make sure that we are making money. And so what I'm here to tell you is that there is a time to play. There really is. But it's not 3 months long in the summertime. That's not the time to play. There is time to have time off for sure. And you'll see that I'm on vacation and I'm doing a bunch of things, and there is definitely time off, but it's not the whole summer long. And trying to find that balance of working and getting your stuff together and making sure that you're ready for winter, for fall, for the good season is an important thing. And as we go into June, and I'm starting to have a crazy travel month really, really soon here and doing some cool things. And I hope that you'll join me on YouTube because I'm going to be doing some lives there. I'm not posting as much on Instagram, all of this live new stuff. So if you want to see like what I'm up to, it's really happening on Instagram on YouTube, because youtube.com/Carina Gardner, because it's just so easy to go live there and to keep all those videos and people can watch it for years to come. So, I really want to tell you that I don't slow down in the summertime. I take some time off, but I don't slow down on my working days. If anything, I actually work a little bit harder, and then I take breaks. So one of my favorite things in the summertime is we do have a pool, and around noon or 1 o'clock, I will go out and hang out with my kids in the pool for the middle of the day. And then that's like a good time for us to use some energy, to exercise, and to do some things. And then they go back to their activities or whatever things they have going on. And I go back and work in my office for a few more hours. And so there are ways to do this, you guys, where you are still paying attention to your design work, still building. You're not going to see the profits from those things, because summer is a low season for many of us, but you are going to see it as you move forward and as you build out your business, because it does take time. And the cool thing about those designers who have been doing this, the economy has been a little bit crazy the last year or so, and I am ready and excited for the high season, because when that season comes, I'm going to be ready for it. And I hope you're going to be ready for it too, because there is going to be this wonderful high season where a lot can be done. It's a powerful thing, moving your design business and doing things that will help it grow, that will help it be nurtured, planting and watering it to make it really good for you in those high seasons. And that is a lot of what I am preparing for right now. And I hope you are too. Did you know you have access to more free design content, die cut files, and sewing patterns? Join our exclusive VIP group for free by going to designsweetcourses.com/free.